Welcome back to the series on Stellaris, tutorial series that is, where we dive into the nitty and gritty of the game and see what the game holds and how you can learn how to turn yourself into a better player. Now today we're going to talk a little bit more about setting goals in the near future and achieving those goals. Last time we had a bit of politics as well as economy. We've talked about things like expansion and anomalies as well as how to handle research, and all those things will be covered once again in this particular episode. But if you want to refer to how to set things up, how do you want to get underway, how the UI works, I suggested you go and towards the end of the video and click on one of the links there or on the playlist in the side of the video. One quick note for you viewers right now, we are not playing with any expansions. This is pure vanilla. We are only playing with one single mod, which is the Tiny Outliner 2.0 mod, or V2. It basically turns the outliner into a more compact package, something that I kind of appreciate. You don't have to do it yourself, but please be aware that this is a thing that is possible, and I highly recommend for you to download it, because the outliner will start slowly but steadily over time become more and more convoluted. Let's dive right in and take a look at where we are at. When you're about 20 years into the game, it's time to select or at least choose our goals. What do we want to achieve in this particular game? Do we want to become the most powerful empire out there? Do we want to play tall? Do we want to play wide? And what these things are. We're going to do a separate video about tall and wide later on, because sadly, one of the most important aspects of playing tall, which is habitats, is only available in the Federations or Utopia expansions. You can get either or and get access to habitats, which are a key item in order to play tall. Sadly, if you don't have that expansion, we're going to ignore this particular part and move on towards the next segment. But I do highly recommend for you, if you're looking to buy any of the expansions, to go for Utopia or Federations, because they are definitely worth it, especially for Utopia. Let's take a quick look here at where we at. We have some space friends nearby. We're going to try to get a Federation with them in this particular episode. And on top of that, we have another cluster to our south, the Helden League, and they are currently neutral to us, which is potentially not all the greatest, but we're going to go and send one of our envoys towards them in the very near future. As you can see, we are currently over our Empire Sprawl. Being over our Empire Sprawl a little bit is not the end of the world. It increases our technology costs, our tradition adoption costs, and as well as our campaign costs, but we can ignore that for now. Let's quickly dive into our little influence tab here and look at our campaigns that we have available. The education campaign, which increases our leader experience gain, which we definitely want and spend the money on, as well as the recycling campaign, which reduces our consumer good upkeep, and we definitely want to activate that because we want to get as many consumer goods as possible just to keep our economy bootstrapped in the very near future. Let's start speeding things up and let's start claiming a little bit more territory where we can, and let's take a look. I believe we're in the process of getting this system over here, and we will go ahead and get this system as well. Both systems are really good, and there you go, a very good example of a feature that is important to cover. It is the birth of space piracy. Now, space pirates by themselves are not really all that annoying. They will pop up every once in a while. As you can see, they will spawn a small fleet of 774. It really depends on how powerful your empire is, and we can go ahead and slap them down. But in order to understand on why they spawn, we are going to need to take a look at a very important segment of our UI that is a little bit hidden. It is the trade route map mode. Let's go and click it, and as you can see, all of our trade is currently being pushed from this system and this system. This system in particular is rather important because it gains us a ton of consumer goods, trade value. If we hit the Alt key on our keyboard, we can see that this particular station is getting 14 trade value back to Sol, which is of course something we don't want to lose, and one from our planet, which is of course called like and subscribe. So what do we do with these guys? Well, we can go ahead and slap them down from whence they came, and that's exactly what we're going to be doing. This is the very first combat that we've had in this series. So first of all, our fleets look a little bit barren. They are not particularly powerful, so we're going to go and assign a leader to our fleet by going to the admirals here and recruit a admiral. That's exactly what we're going to do here. We have the opportunity to go for a jester, a fleet logistician, or another trickster. It's trickster, actually, not jester. So we're going to get 2 tricksters here. One for each fleet that we have up and running. And as we cycle through these, you will see that we will get the opportunity of getting new admirals every single time as the list refreshes. If you have a particular type of admiral that you are looking for, then you can totally go ahead and say, hey, this admiral over here, I don't want them, but the one that just spawned, I would like him. You can go ahead and fire the old one and get the new one, because they do have an upkeep cost. So what we're going to do here is that we are going to select our Corvette fleet, which is inherently faster, and right-click on our cruiser. And that basically means that our Corvettes will follow our cruiser at all times. They won't get ahead of them at any point in time. We're going to right-click on this pirate fleet over here and try to get some stuff going. At the same time, we're going to go to our fleet manager and start adding, well, removing a couple of them here anyway, and set our fleet command limit to 10. That means that 10 ships will be built in total, 7 right now, because we have 3 in our fleet, and we're going to hit the reinforce all button and spend the 600 alloys that we need for that. Those ships will automatically be built in our shipyard over here. If you go over here, you will see that they're all in our list, and they will automatically go together with our fleet over here. Our cruiser will take point. It will have a nice time over here as it's slow boating over towards the system, and it will start trying to take out stuff here. Now the station will engage the pirates for a little bit of damage, but after that the pirates will start attacking the mining stations in this system, which is something that we want to avoid because the mining stations are pretty expensive. So let's speed things up and let's see what these pirates can do here.
System survey complete.
Alright, the cruiser is about to engage. Nice on time because it will not cause any problems with our station, which will also join the fight. Let's quickly pause and take a look at this menu over here, the fleet combat menu. As you can see, here is the enemy pirate fleet, and here is our cruiser. As you can see, the pirates have had a much easier time hitting our cruiser because our cruiser is a large target and they are in fact small. The cruiser is having a more difficult time hitting these here pirates. Our corvettes, on the other hand, are having an easier time because they are corvettes, they are smaller, and their weapons have an overall easier time shooting the enemy pirates. Now we will let this move on, and the ships will, in this case, disengage, which is a bit of a shame. But it doesn't matter because our ships will just kill off the pirates, and then we're going to hit the repair fleet button and our ship will return home. Let's quickly bounce back to this particular screen, the trade route map mode. Now, as you can see here, this system is prone to piracy. Right now it is suppressed because there is a cruiser in this system. And as long as this cruiser remains in the system, piracy will remain suppressed. What we could, however, do is we just merge up these two fleets and actually do the same thing with these guys, just so that everything is merged nicely. And we're going to make sure that this fleet is being healed so that we don't lose any ships. We didn't lose any ships there, so that's good by looking at the fleet log menu. And also, these two systems are now built, so we're going to go and build up our economy here. A lot of resources to be had in this particular system. And the first fleet, whilst important, is currently upgrading. It's healing, even. But they can be better. So we're going to go ahead and upgrade our fleet a little bit. And it will go ahead and upgrade automatically to the best ship that we have available. However, this is not necessarily the best ship. Why? Because it has a point defense module on it. So what we can do here is we can unclick the auto generate design button, go to the pick a ship button and hit the 3 intercept button, autocomplete, and then save. However, we can't do it right now because the fleet is in fact upgrading. In order to cancel this, we just move the fleet away and send them back towards the station. That's exactly what we just did. So what we can do here, once again, we autocomplete the design. A ship of this design is currently being built. That is a little bit awkward. So we're just going to rename this design here by adding an extra A at the end and leave it at that. We can go back into the fleet manager and then hit the retrofit button. and then we can just click this one right here, and all the ships will automatically be ready to be retrofitted, which is exactly what we're going to be doing. All of our ships can be retrofitted now using that button. What an exciting time. In addition, we've managed to get the automated exploration protocols update, which means that we will survey a lot quicker, and we also get access to automated exploration. We're going to go ahead and get the additional research items here, and also the mining output option. Now, automated stuff here is a button that is over here. So if you don't want to manually go through every single system one by one in order to select, hey, I want to survey here, I want to survey here, etc., etc., what you instead can do is you can just hit this button, and then the ship will automatically start surveying wherever it is needed. So that's fairly useful over there. So please be aware of that. In the meantime, our scientists are just moving around, which is great. And it looks like our colony of like and subscribe is ready for its first building, which is, of course, going to be a robotic assembly plant.
Situation log updated.
And once again, we are going to hit Control-Shift to do a research project here. We covered all of this stuff in a previous episode. And we are 53 months away from being able to generate a federation. In the meantime, though, we have the opportunity to change our robots. So we can go ahead and select our robots and create a template, because we've unlocked the machine modification protocols. So we can go ahead and select any of these traits. But however, considering we want miners, we're going to add some power drills here and click the create template button, and then apply set template, and just do it like this. This will take 16 months of our time, which is a fairly large amount, but it is worth it because more robots means better. Bunker bot. So we can scrap it, we can boost it our own research, or we can get a bunch of influence. The resources are good, not amazing, although the 50 crystals as well as 50 motes are nice. Giving a 10-year bonus to engineering research, or influence, which is exactly what we're going to get. Because influence is always good. We need more influence in our case. Okay, so we could hypothetically go over our edict capacity here if we want to by selecting the research subsidies button. But I don't want to do that just yet, because I want to avoid going over our soft cap. Going over our soft cap would be a bad idea. Okay. With all this new resources that we have, we can go and flesh out our empire a little bit more, getting more systems here and there, and just make sure that things are done properly. And as you can see, the pirates, they are back, and that is a problem. So what we're going to do here is we're going to select our first fleet, and we are going to go ahead, and we are... Where is the button here? Ah, yes, the patrol button. So we're going to go ahead and set this fleet to patrol, and then click the system that we want them to patrol to. So this fleet from now on will move between these two systems and destroy any piracy that is between any of these systems. And that right there is rather useful to suppress piracy, because there's quite a lot of trade value coming from this system, and we want to avoid that as much as possible. So as our fleet will start moving shortly into the system, the piracy will start to reset. Let's hope that won't take too long here. We are moving on fastest as the inherent piracy. There you go. The piracy has been reset. And why is it being reset? Because this fleet has a piracy suppression of 90. Smaller ships have higher piracy suppression, so it's always good to have pirate areas being patrolled by your corvettes. Another way of dealing with this is building the joys of a... if I can actually do it, yeah, a hangar bay within your station. A hangar bay in this particular case will suppress all piracy within range. And that's exactly what we're going to be doing here in Alpha Centauri by upgrading the system here, station here to a starport, and then filling it up completely with the joys of the hangar bays. And two systems from there will be protected for trade value, which will be Sol and Bernard Star. And as soon as we upgrade it one more time, we will be able to hold Polbernon Kier as well, and anything down the line that has potential trade value on it, such as Giselian, because Giselian has +9. Actually, if we cancel this, did we get the money back? Yes, we do. Okay, so we're actually going to build that in Bernard Star because it's probably a little bit more cost effective, because this is also where the Piracy is. And if we built a hangar bay here, we will go all the way up to Sirius and Tuselian, which are, of course, important systems. Oh, terraforming. Yes, I would like terraforming, because terraforming is not something we actually have touched upon so far. Terraforming is important within the context of the game because we have two planets that we currently cannot use, and we definitely want to convert those into worlds that we in fact can use, which is rather important. Signs of battle. Let's improve some relationships here, and let's improve some relationships. Okay, they're okay. Yeah, we'll improve some relationships here with these guys because they are pacifists and egalitarian, so they will sync nicely into our upcoming federation.
Special project
I hope.
complete.
Good. The robots have been
Anomaly
upgraded. If we go to one of our worlds that has robots on it, which are these guys over here, the miners should be in here. Servitude robots. Okay. We have some unemployment. They're just humans. They don't have any jobs at the moment. So instead of building another building here, what do we need? Well, energy is always good because we want to start terraforming. Energy in this particular case is good because terraforming, turns out, is pretty darn expensive. And we want to make sure that we cover that as well as possible.
Anomaly found.
As we get ourselves another anomaly. Good. And I quickly want to take a look here at our precursor anomalies. So how many precursors have we done so far? 0 out of 6. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 available in total. That means that we need to find 2 more precursor anomalies before we actually get any use out of it. We just got a bunch of resources, which is also nice. But yeah, our fleet is currently patrolling, which is good. So that is moving along swimmingly, and the piracy has been completely suppressed in this area. In the meantime, what we're going... Ooh, another empire. Authoritarian, militarist, materialist. Well, we are delighted to meet you there, aliens. Those are not the ones. They are down here. Wow, they have a lot of territory already. They're currently neutral to us, which is fine. They're far away, so they're not going to cause any problems. These ones are potentially the biggest problem in the long run. So we're going to go ahead and build ourselves another science ship here. Why a science ship? Because we want to start getting these anomalies in our grasp. Oh, they've closed the borders to us. Well, they are so far away, it's not going to cause any problems. And these guys have already closed their borders. You can see that by the orange lines that are down here. So please do be aware of that. So these guys, for instance, also have orange lines. And we're going to go ahead and assign a new leader to this spaceship. It's going to be a military expertise person. And in the meantime, we're actually going to go and take a look at our technology. Yes, you have the industry bonus. You have the maniacal bonus. And you have the genius bonus. That is great. So we're going to go ahead and send them over towards this simple anomaly over here. It's only a tier 1, and we're only doing that in order to get their level up. And then once the level goes higher, we will send them over towards more complex anomalies.
Construction complete.
Good. The starbase is up and running. We're immediately going to slap the hangar bays on it. I think we just found ourselves yet another precursor one. Yes, we found ourselves a precursor one, and our scientist is immediately badgering away to go ahead and do it. That's very nice. And because of the massive influence bonus that we got from the bunker bot, we managed to get a bunch of additional territory, which is in fact great. And we can immediately apply those influence points on something more useful. And of course, increasing our territory and increasing our gains in space is definitely something that we want to do with that. So as we've built our trade hub in this particular system, we have the potential opportunity to build a off-world trading company. But we don't have enough alloys at the moment, so we're just going to go ahead and actually buy a few. Usually this is not a good idea because it's pretty expensive, but in this particular case, we can get the wonders of +2 trade value for every single trade hub, which is +4, which will give us even more consumer goods, and which is something that we would want. In the meantime, we are getting a non-aggression pact. Good. We want a non-aggression pact with the Helven League because they are a potential ally for the future. Considering we already have a non-aggression pact with our friends over here, I think it's a good time to change over our diplomatic stance from expansionist to cooperative. Cooperative will basically improve our border friction as well as make sure that our envoys are more effective. Also, it increases diplomatic weight, which is something that will come into play once we hit the galactic community. And that right there is important. We found ourselves a derelict cruiser. We are immediately going to go and research that because obviously we do want to make sure that we get all that stuff up and running because we are so close at unlocking the mysteries of the precursors. So yeah, please be aware of that is
System
also a thing.
Complete.
And in the meantime, alloys. Yeah, we don't have enough alloys to build another thing here, which is a bit of a shame. We found a rare resource called Zero in this system, which is nice.
Incoming transmission.
And there's a commercial pact. Yes, I will agree to that. And our factions are free movement. Oh yeah, because of the... Okay, they don't want to be federated right now, which means that we need a federation. And these guys want to have free movement, but I'm not going to give it to them because free movement will cause a lot of problems that we don't want to have. Okay, so you have finished here. We're going to go and send you to the Mount Graveyard at the same time. And then then shift-click on the anomaly in this system. Because when we're going to start to get all the... yes, research agreement is always good. Mining stations, output increased, always good. And now, do we want to have city district housing or mining subsidies? Weather control systems is quite good. I'm going to go for the mining subsidies because we can get more minerals that way, and minerals are good. Okay,
Construction complete.
The job availability here is 0 for 0, which means that it's time to build another job, and we're still 3 pops away from generating yet another building slot, and we should build more... I'm thinking food. Actually, no, because the like and subscribe world has enough food on it, and we also have enough housing and amenities available here. Okay, we can distribute some luxury goods, which will increase amenities as well, so we're going to go and do that. It also will increase immigration pool to our planet, which means more pops will want to live there. And have we gotten the terraform
Incoming
option?
transmissions.
Migration treaty. Yes, I will take a migration treaty as well. And that should increase our relationship to Cordial, which is exactly what it just did. Same thing with these guys. They're friendly. We are increasing our stats with these guys here. So let's hope that we can get a federation up and running with them. Research output is always what you want to go for, because research in space is a good research. And you are now available, so you're going to go and do this here. Precursor Anomaly. And war declared. Do we want to block off this system? I do feel that we want to block off this system, which is exactly what we're going to do. You are going to go and prioritize surveying the system over here. We need more alloys, just so we can build more stations. And we should probably go for the black hole build here because we want to get access to the wormhole. Because who knows where the wormhole goes? Jobs available. We are going to build some food districts here because our empires need more food. We found some exotic gas. These are exotic resources. Gas in particular is very important, because it allows us to generate science. And science, of course, is, as they say, what makes the world go round and round.
System survey complete.
Okay, those bonuses are all applied. We've got a single star base down to the south here. What are we going to use this star base for? Well, we can take a look at that later. Oh my god, are they at war with the Panorians? Oh no, the Panoria are at war with our rivals. How fascinating.
Evading hostile fleet.
We're going to go ahead and... actually, I went a little bit too fast there. We were going to go ahead to generate a federation. So federation is basically the final step in the tree of politics. And that means that we want to become the bestest of friends. Now, right now, we cannot suggest a federation with the Punari because they are, in fact, at war. However, our friends to the south have the opportunity to do so. Now, right now, they do not have the opportunity yet to generate a federation, but we can make a defensive pact, and it will cost us some influence a month, and that is fine. So we're going to go ahead and get a defensive pact with these gentlemen over here, and if we want to get a federation, they are so totally into getting a federation, but they're at war right now, which is, of course, a problem, which means that we're going to go and have to send our next envoy here, and also the envoy that is working on the Helven League. The limbo event. We're not going to go and research that because it is a secret. We're not going to go and spoil that just yet. Oh, that's the limbo event. Yeah, we're not going to spoil that. We're going to leave that for now because our scientist needs to get more levels, and he's going to go ahead and do the anomalies in the different systems for that. And we got ourselves a new contact. With a bit of luck, we should get the galactic community in the very near future. And we want to go ahead and take this system because of the alloys. This system over here is also very, very nice with the amazing amount of research that's inside of it. Good. We are 30 years into our game. Let's take a quick look here at our technology. We are still trying to get terraforming gases, because terraforming gases is the road to new systems through the wonders of terraforming, and we're going to definitely terraform one of these worlds, even though they're a little bit on the small side, but we can definitely work with that. Let's take a look here once again. Station mining output, always great. And this person over here, we're going to set to automatic exploration. We found some battle wreckage. We're going to go and research that because it's part of our precursor chain, which is, of course, very important. And you right here, you are going to go ahead and actually survey this dead end cluster down here. Because I do want to know what's inside of that, if there's any good resources or whether or not it's just going to be a waste of time. Who knows? Who knows? We want to build a starbase here. We were once again just going to casually buy some alloys, build a starbase over here, and build some mining stations over here. Because alloys are good. Alloys are great, and we definitely want to get more of them. Good. Our empire is coming together just nicely. We're just going to go ahead and continue this episode until we get to terraforming, or at least terrestrial sculpting. Because it is a big part of our stuff. And I kind of want them to get this war over with. They're currently in an offensive war, so the Federation will have to wait till next episode, I am afraid. Energy from technicians is good. So we are continuously getting more and more stuff. Good. One of our scientists has gained a trait. They are now an archaeologist.
Construction complete.
And we now have access to this system over here, which is, of course, the wormhole system. Excellent stuff. Very well done. We're going to use this wormhole system and build a station in there later. And for the last part of this episode, we're going to talk about terraforming. Now, terraforming is the process of turning any system or any planet into something a little bit more useful. I'm actually going to get the planetary capital in here as well. Let's take a quick look at our options when it comes to terraforming. Let's get a quick look here at our expansion planner. As you can see, there is 3 worlds here that have the potential to be terraformed. Some of these are good in terms of distance, but some of them are fairly close. Now, please be aware that any planet that is within 5 jumps of your capital world is a planet that will automatically be added to your initial sector when you are colonizing it. This one's way too far, sadly, but it is a good location for a planet. However, we are going to terraform one of these worlds, and it's going to be this Arctic world. We need 5,000 energy to do so. So we're just going to go ahead and sell some food here, and now we should have enough to do some terraforming. And we're going to terraform it to our planet of choice, which is a continental world. And there you go. This planet will now be terraformed for 5,000 buckaroos. Now, there's poor mineral quality here. This means that this planet will probably not be the best option for minerals. But we still have the opportunity here to build districts and do trade value. This planet is going to be good for energy. So tell you what we're going to do. We're just going to sell off a bunch of our minerals, 10,000 of them to be specific, and actually do some more terraforming here. Just to get we just basically spend 10,000 energy
System
in one
survey
go,
complete.
but we have the economy to do so, especially with our mineral and food income, and we have managed to balance our economy in an efficient way, and we are now capable of doing these things. So why are we actually doing this terraforming? Well, as you can see, there is not that many planets nearby that are useful to us, and our neighbors have a lot more planets already. And these two worlds are going to be a great addition to our collection. And then once they are done with terraforming, it's going to take a little while, about 10 years, I want to say. About 10 years and terraforming will be done, and then we can start colonizing these worlds, and that will be another great way to expand our territory. Now, it's already in our territory, and they will add up towards our empire sprawl, but overall, it's going to be a great way to increase our population. The more worlds we have, the more places people can grow and create families and create jobs and create a good force for our economy, which we're going to be able to use in the late game. But we're going to go and wrap up this episode here. Wow, we've covered so much. Piracy, terraforming, some politics, some warfare over here, the mechanics behind rivalries, and all that stuff. A bunch of anomalies that I just blasted through because those are for you to explore and find out. I've already seen all of these. You don't need to know about them in this video. It's going to be all fresh and new. Next time, let's hope that we will be able to get that Federation up and running with our neighbors, but at the same time also get first contact with the galactic community, because that is an exciting endeavor, and maybe we'll be able to get the terraforming of those planets done as well. In the meantime, though, we're going to go and wrap up this episode. If you want to play along, there is a save file on the Discord. You will find the link for that in the description below. But also, if you want to know more about the game, more about the individual mechanics of certain events, there is a mechanics playlist on your screen right now. Feel free to go and click on that. And on top of that, there is the rest of this tutorial series taken all the way from the start. If you find yourself completely out of the water, feel free to jump into the tutorial series and enjoy. Leave your comments down below on what you felt was important in this thing and what has not been covered yet and what you would like to see, and we will go ahead and get some attention to that next time. In the meantime, though, we're going to go wrap it up here. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, take good care of yourselves, and as always, space is vast, but there's more stuff out there.